My name is Madison. I'm 31 years old and work as a nurse. The way I met my husband, Nicholas, who is 2 years older than me, is like something out of a drama. Nurse meet inpatient. We got to know each other after I messed up his IV. Embarrassing to admit as a nurse. I wish I could forget it, but hey, we're married now. Life is unpredictable. I work at a general hospital, which includes night shifts. When I come home after a night shift, my husband is on his way to work. We might not always cross paths, but for the most part, we were doing well as a couple. One day, we both had the day off and planned to go out. That's when my younger sister Abigail showed up unannounced. When we told her we were about to go out, she excitedly said, "Really? I was thinking of going shopping too. Let's go to the store and just like that, she decided where we were going. My husband chuckled and said, "Well, it's fine. We hadn't decided where to go anyway. But we rarely get to go out together. She's your only sister and she misses you. It's cute, isn't it?" At that, my sister started playfully hitting my husband on the arm, saying, "Oh my God, you're calling me cute. That's so sweet." My sister has always been like this. Good at buttering people up. Good at getting pampered. Even my parents were the same. Everybody always spoils her. Growing up, I was always told to be the mature older sister, compared and even made to hold back sometimes. Honestly, she's not my favorite person. I thought getting married and moving out meant finally getting some distance, but no. She has a knack for showing up and making me sigh. Our outing ended up being all about where she wanted to go. She kept asking us to buy this and that. I said no, but my husband ended up paying for it all anyway. Apparently, being an only child, he has a soft spot for the concept of a little sister. "You're so kind. I'm so happy you're my brother-in-law," she said, wrapping her arm around my husband. My husband doesn't even try to shake her off. They walk together like a couple, and I follow behind them. It's the only way to describe how miserable I feel. After that, my sister started visiting more frequently. Having just graduated from college and failing to find a job, she's supposedly a homemaker. But it seems she doesn't actually do any housework. So she's just unemployed and hanging around the house. She's not even working part-time. And our parents are okay with this. With time on her hands, she started spending more than half the week at our place. I'm not thrilled about it, but since my husband is happy to have her, I can't exactly turn her away. Once I told her it's inconvenient for her to come over so often, she broke down and said, "You're a terrible sister. Do you hate me?" Upon seeing this, my husband lashed out, "Hey, aren't you being too harsh on your sister? What a cold-hearted sibling you are." Our parents chimed in with the same old line, "You're the older sister. Take care of her." Despite her being so adorable, I'm labeled the cold sister. Not very nice at all. Always the same story. Our parents dote on my sister and treat me poorly. It was the same when I said I wanted to go to nursing school. "We don't have the money," they hesitated. When I said I would pay for it with money from my part-time job, guess what they said? "Use that money for your sister." That's what they told me. At that moment, I gave up expecting anything from my parents. I gave up on being loved by them. In the end, I went to nursing school without giving in, and they didn't help me at all. Despite claiming to have no money, they paid my sister's college tuition. Apparently, they still give her an allowance every month. Then and now, for our parents, the only beloved daughter is my sister. I see the same trend in my husband. Everyone seems to think my sister is the virtuous one, and I'm the villain. It's an incredibly sad reality. To add insult to injury, my husband's attitude towards me starts to change. He's become somewhat colder. "You can't even handle basic chores, and you call yourself a housewife? You're completely useless. You know your current lifestyle is all thanks to me, right? Show some gratitude. You've got plenty of clothes. Stop wasting money when you earn so little. If only you were more beautiful. What bad luck I have being stuck with a harmless wife like you." The verbal abuse just kept getting worse, and his spending grew increasingly reckless. When confronted, he'd lash out. And then I saw my sister smirking as she watched us fight. That's when I realized my husband and my sister were having an affair. I hadn't seen it happen, but I could feel it in the air. Call it a woman's intuition, if you will. My sister being overly touchy and needy with my husband, and him responding with a sloppy grin. Initially, I cried almost every night, but slowly my sadness turned to rage. Wondering what to do about this, an incident occurred one day. My sister was rushed to the hospital where I work. Seeing her on a stretcher, I was shocked. Even more when I heard her husband was with her. Wait, husband? When did my sister get married? Was I the only one not in the know? No way that can't be. While I was still confused, a man stepped out of the ambulance. Yes, it was My husband, not hers. Definitely mine. Abigail, hang in there. I'm with you. He shouted, unaware of my presence. I quietly approached him from behind and whispered into his ear. What are you up to? What do you mean? My wife has collapsed in... Wait, wife? Infuriated, he turned around and was visibly shocked when he recognized me. My wife has collapsed. Wait, what? What do you mean, what? Why are you here? I work here. Remember the name of your wife's workplace. So, while I'm working, you and Abigail were together again? That's none of your business. How is it none of my business when it involves my sister and my husband? Explain yourself. If he admits to cheating, fine. I can divorce him without any lingering feelings. Even if he apologizes, I have no intention of forgiving him. With that in mind, I awaited his reply. Shut up! My husband suddenly snapped. His face turned bright red. His mouth twisted in anger. What an ugly sight he made. Shut up? You're telling me to shut up. Damn right, shut up. You have no say in this. What Abigail and I do is none of your business. What a transformation. He had become distant since his involvement with Abigail, but he had never yelled at me like this. What's with the attitude? It's weird for a husband and sister to spend so much time alone. Are you feeling guilty or something? Explain. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Your job is to work and make money. Don't you dare challenge your husband. With that, he pushed me hard. I stumbled and fell on my butt. Wincing in pain, I watched him walk away. I was at a loss for words. Blinded by rage, I hardly remembered what happened afterwards. I simply focused on my nursing job. It turns out my sister had fainted at my house due to anemia. Should I be relieved it wasn't a life-threatening illness? As I left the hospital room, I saw my parents there with my husband. Their faces were pale with concern for their beloved Abigail. Madison, is Abigail okay? Would they be this worried if I were the one hospitalized? No, probably not. I pushed the thought aside and assured them it wasn't serious and she could be discharged soon. Then I looked at my husband. So, are you going to explain? Are you seeing Abigail alone often? He looked uncomfortable at my question. Yeah, so what? I'm not asking if it's wrong, I'm asking if you're having an affair with my sister. My parents looked shocked. My husband's eyes widened, then narrowed. So you noticed? I thought you were too dense to realize. What a brazen admission. Yes, I'm involved with Abigail. But so what? I'm just showing her some affection. You can't even make decent money or keep the house in order. Who are you to complain? How dare you say that? It's the truth. You've lost your appeal, so don't act high and mighty. The one having an affair shouldn't be acting high and mighty. What did you just say? You... We were both losing our tempers. As I stood my ground, he grabbed my collar. I braced myself to be hit, but then someone grabbed his arm. Calm down, both of you. It was the doctor who had examined my sister. Although he looked close to 40 years old and seemed calm, he gripped my husband's arm with strong force, contrary to his expression. My husband tried to shake free, but the doctor's grip didn't let go. You're in a hospital. Please keep it down, and no violence. The doctor's tone was gentle, but firm. It seemed to have an impact, and my husband reluctantly let go of my hand. At the same time, the doctor also released his grip on my husband. By the way, the doctor stepped between my husband and me, blocking my view. I can only see the doctor's back. I wonder what face he's making while looking at my husband. The patient is pregnant. What? Confused, my husband listened as the doctor repeated himself. She's pregnant, early stages. She probably wasn't even aware. Make sure she's paying attention to her diet. She'll be needing more iron during pregnancy. My sister is pregnant. The room went silent, grasping the weight of this revelation. What followed was chaotic. My sister, now discharged, was pampered like a princess back at our parents' home. Being the first grandchild, our parents were ecstatic beyond words. As for my husband, he showed no remorse. Not only did he not apologize, he even said it was my fault he had an affair. Without any lingering attachments, we divorced swiftly. Of course, I claimed alimony. Greedy woman, he grumbled till the very end, but ultimately signed the papers. Was being with my sister that important to him? The years spent with him felt empty, to say the least. That's the sad part of the story. I'll probably be embarrassed about it forever, but it's not over. Why should everything end here? I can't forgive them. My sister, my husband, and my parents. I've already submitted the divorce papers. After confirming the alimony transfer, I head straight to my family home. My sister, my parents, and even my ex-husband were all there. I originally purchased that apartment when I was single, so inevitably, my ex-husband left. When I entered my parents' house, my ex-husband, parents, and sister were all there. I've confirmed the alimony payment and submitted the divorce papers. Oh, really? My ex-husband was as indifferent as ever. We've submitted our marriage registration too. I'm Abigail's husband now, so stop bothering us. Who said anything about bothering? How can he act so high and mighty after having an affair? Even more, why is he so full of himself? I don't have any ounce of love left for him. His delusional comments are making me sick. I pulled out a letter-sized envelope, my face stern. So, shall we begin? What's that? I have to say, I'm impressed. I spoke up, cutting off my husband's puzzled question. I eagerly pulled out a thick stack of papers from the envelope. There were also small bundles of paper. I placed them on the table and tapped them with my finger. Never thought you'd be raising someone else's child. You're practically a saint, aren't you? What? My husband furrowed his eyebrows, clueless about what I was getting at. I sensed my sister catching her breath. Ignoring them, I spread the papers out. What's this? It's the result from a private investigator, I answered while they were still asking. No time to waste. A private investigator? Why would you? Hold on, don't rush me. These papers have all kinds of information about Abigail. About Abigail? My husband looked at my sister's face. It seemed to have turned slightly pale. What exactly are you? It might not matter to Mom and Dad. The child is Abigail's after all. Huh? This right here is about the man Abigail is dating, I said, showing them a photograph. It featured my sister arm in arm with a man. It wasn't my ex-husband. Huh? What? My bewildered ex-husband and parents, my sister lost for words. The moment of revenge. Surprise! The child in my sister's belly is this man's! I grinned and declared loudly, What? What's going on? Abigail, what is this about? I pressed on against the stunned trio. The truth is, Abigail has been dating this man. The child is unmistakably his. Weren't you two using contraception? Well, yes, but contraception isn't absolute. True, nothing is absolute, but the timing doesn't add up based on what I've heard. That's not absolute either, but the timeline for her relationship with this man aligns perfectly with her pregnancy. So chances are, when I saw proof of my husband and sister's affair, I stumbled upon an unexpected revelation. Stop making stuff up. I don't know this man. That's right, Madison. You can't ruin a relationship with lies. Oh, really? So is this picture photoshopped? I spread out a couple of pictures on the table, one showing my sister checking into a hotel with a man and another showing them leaving. Then I spread out a slew of lovey-dovey pictures that obviously couldn't have been edited. Wow, look at you two all cozy. What are you doing? Clean this up. Throw them away. Don't worry, I have digital copies. I can make as many as I want. Are you kidding me? My sister is panicking. This is getting fun. I should mention that this relationship between my sister and this man dates back a few years, since Abigail was in college. Wait, that long ago? Abigail, you said you didn't have a boyfriend. I don't, I swear. Well, can't really call him a boyfriend, can we? Because he's a married man. He's... what? Married? My ex-husband's voice cracked. What's there to be surprised about? You were married too. Seems like my sister has a thing for married men. Abigail, you were serious about him, weren't you? You wanted to have his child, didn't you? You wanted a child because he wasn't going to leave his wife, am I right? My sister was silenced by my questions. I looked at my ex-husband and pointed sharply at him. So, you're just a convenient option. What? My ex-husband's eyes widened. Pretty impressive considering you'd marry and raise a child that isn't yours. Well, it's not the child's fault, so you better take good care of them. Wait, if that's true. If what's true? Let's start over. What? I was caught off guard by a sudden statement. What's he talking about? Start over. Yes! If Abigail's child isn't mine, then I'll break up with her. Why should I raise someone else's child? So why would you want to start over with me? You still love me, right? I can put up with your quirks if you continue to provide for me as you have. Bang! I couldn't take it anymore and slammed the table. Photos and documents flew everywhere. I glared at my ex-husband. You've got to be kidding me. You think I'm so stupid that I get back with the man who cheated on me with my sister? Love you. I think of you as less than trash. Even if you'd offered me $1 billion, I'd say no. Ew, really? A sleazy man who hits on his wife's sister and a sleazy woman who would let him raise another man's child? You two are a match made in heaven. Just stay out of my life. That goes for you too, Mom and Dad. I'll find happiness without any of you. I left my family home after dropping these words. Wait up! My ex-husband desperately tried to catch up to me. He reached out his hand to me, but it was intercepted by someone else. Who the heck are you? My name is David. I won't allow anyone to harm Madison. It was the doctor who had treated my sister before. David. He had saved me that day from my ex-husband's blow. We became close while I consulted him about various issues. David, who also experienced divorce due to his wife's infidelity, he confessed his feelings for me. I was shocked. I asked him to wait until the divorce was finalized. He respected my wish. He had been waiting outside today, concerned about the meeting. I'll call the police if you try anything, and if you cross the line, I'll sue you right away. But Madison, please wait. I was wrong. So wrong. I grinned at my weeping ex-husband. Thanks to you and my sister, I met him. Thank you. I'm going to be happy with him. My ex-husband slumped as he watched me hug David. After that, we DNA tested my sister's child after its birth. As suspected, the child was not my ex-husband's. My sister and ex-husband ended up divorcing. My sister had to pay damages for her affair once her lover's wife found out. She's now reluctantly working night shifts. As for my parents, they dote on their grandchild, believing blood is thicker than water. It seems their love has shifted from my sister to her child, and my sister doesn't like it. I'm being neglected, my sister complained, but I don't care. Her child is likely to follow in her footsteps. I wonder what my aging parents will do then. Not my problem. Word got around at my ex-husband's workplace about his affairs and quick divorce, so now he's ostracized. He got uncomfortable and quit his job. Then he hopped from job to job, his mental state deteriorating, and eventually became unemployed. Nobody knows what he's up to now. A mutual friend told me this, but honestly, I couldn't care less. He brought this upon himself. Oh yeah, right. As for me, my relationship with David is going well. We are cautious about moving forward because we both have been cheated on, but his sincerity has eased my worries. I'm pretty sure the day I become Mrs. Johnson isn't far off.